Hey, what is up, everyone? It's Jeffrey Fung. Today we have a really special video. Um, in a bit, I'm going to play the recording with Johan, who is a previous student. He's still in the program, actually. And he joined at the end of March. So let's say April, right? Today it's September 29. I had a meeting with him on September 27. So in the course of 6 months, he scaled his Amazon business to net him 25K a month in profit, which is absolutely crazy. And in the meeting, he said by his third month, he did like 9K. And it took him another 3 months to get to 25K, which is absolutely nuts. But what's even crazier is this is an email thread that he sent me in like on March 28th this year, right before he joined, because on this date, my Instagram got suspended because I changed my email and then Instagram thought I was getting hacked. It was like a whole thing. But my Instagram got hacked and then he actually emailed me in the morning and then he seemed pretty like skeptical that like I was a scam or whatever. Which kind of sucks, but I guess it happens. So you see here how he says, to be frank, the disabled Instagram account made it seem like this could be a scam, and I've seen a fair share of them, but I'm putting my doubts aside and giving you a shot, right? This was March 28th. And today, like I said, September 29, he did 25K a month in profit. So this is definitely a truly like an interesting story. I thought it'd be pretty cool to just talk about it. But I'm going on a bit of a ramble. Here's the video. So, hey everyone. So in this video, it's a very special video because I have a student who hit 25K. He came into the program and I just wanted to ask a couple questions, have a very casual conversation, and talk about the different challenges, different reasons why he started Amazon. But yeah, it's very nice to have you.
Yep, thank you.
Of course. So like it's been a very good journey,
Mhm.
a couple months, and I'm very happy. I'm also very proud that you began seeing results. 25K is no small feat. I
Mhm.
was telling you this even before we recorded.
Yep.
But I wanted to ask you a couple questions just to dig deeper into like your thought process,
Yep.
even like before you started Amazon. And
Yeah.
the first question I did have was what really got you interested or what appealed to you to want to start Amazon in the beginning?
That's a good question. So for me, I'm always like had the mindset that okay, what can I do next? Because I'm like, okay, I have a job, I'm
Mhm.
working, but what else can I do, right? Because I'm like, I feel like a 9 to 5 is not going to cut it ever. I learned that from experience. So I'm always like, okay, what else can I do? So I started off like doing tutoring, like kind of side gigs where I would just like do like small jobs here on like kind of like I'm a developer, so I do like small dev jobs here
Mm.
and there, do websites for people, but I'm like it's not consistent money. And I'm like doing research, I found like drop shipping, right? Like I
Yeah.
had some friends doing it. I'm like, that's a big thing at the time when I first looked into it. But it's like when I first started doing research, I was like, how does this even work? Like you source stuff from China, how does it work and stuff. I heard people selling on Amazon. So at that time, I'm like, I opened an Amazon account. I'm like, okay, let's see how this works. And I had no idea what I was doing. Like I didn't like there wasn't anything really helpful online, and I didn't really see like how to actually get started. So I was like, okay. I kind of stopped there once I'd pretty much opened the account, try to like see what I could sell, and then I kind of didn't know what to do from there, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of took a foot off the pedal and I started looking at other stuff. And then randomly one day I just found one of your ad on Instagram. I'm like, oh damn,
Yeah.
this sounds kind of cool, right? It sounds like to me at the first, I'm like, yo, it sounds kind of too good to be true. But I'm like, you know what? Let's take a risk because you
Yeah.
never know what you're gonna find unless you take a risk, right? Sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some, right? But if you're
Yeah.
just stuck in the same thing, you're not gonna go anywhere, right? So I'm like, you know what? Let's meet with you, see what the program's about, and see what I can learn. So I met with you, and then I was like, oh, see, like the way like you talked about the program, it seemed like a really like easy way to make money. But like, of course, you have to put in the effort. But
Yeah.
down the road, it's kind of like it's just like a pipeline. It just kind of works. So that's what kind of drew my attention, right? Because it's something I can do on the side while I'm working, right? It's not something I have to go somewhere and like do physical labor, do some work. Where this is like a
Yeah.
very good use of my time, right? I can sit at home, work on my computer for a few hours each day, and then kind of build it up from there. So that's kind of what was appealing to me. And then after like hearing about the program from you, I think that's what really took it off. And then I was,
Yeah.
you know what, let's take the risk, let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think like you're like I can really relate to exactly why you started as well.
Hmm.
Um, like I was working my job too, and I
Hmm.
also tried drop shipping.
Hmm.
Or I like literally tried drop shipping and it didn't
Hmm.
work. And
Yeah.
I was like selling like products from like China.
Hmm.
Like I was selling this water bottle And
Exactly.
then one thing I noticed, the biggest flaw with what I was doing was it's very hard to stand out.
Right.
And like there's a
Exactly.
lot of people, like if you search how to make money online
Hmm.
in 2025 and 2024, like whatever
Yeah.
year, drop shipping is always like the first thing.
Exactly.
And then I remember also seeing Amazon back then,
Hmm.
and I briefly looked into it and it said, oh, like you gotta like buy stuff from China. And then
Hmm.
that kind of like turned me off. So I didn't do
Exactly. Because you
Amazon
have
for a
to
while.
spend capital to start, right? A lot of
Yeah.
capital, something like
Yeah, that
that.
was like the misconception. Like in the beginning, like this was like 3 years back. Like
Hmm.
I was very like risk adverse. Like I didn't want to
Hmm.
spend 10 grand in inventory.
Exactly.
I didn't even have 10 grand. And I
Yeah,
also just wanted something that where I could see quick results, right?
for
So,
sure.
I mean, that's why drop shipping, it didn't work out,
Hmm.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
But actually, I got introduced to this model. And then what really appealed to me was, name brand products. Like my first products were coffee machines, Nespresso coffee machines.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like what got me really interested. And I'm sure to some extent it's like pretty appealing because like what you're selling, it's not like from China.
Hmm.
Um, so that's kind of what got me started. And like
Exactly.
personally, like even with a lot of the students who joined the program, like that's the main selling point or like the
Right.
main reason that's really getting them started.
Hmm.
So like I could definitely relate exactly to what you're saying.
Hmm.
And the other aspect was like the fact that you don't have to like go all in, right? You don't have to like quit your job. You can literally
Yeah.
start this on the side, one
Exactly.
hour, couple hours a day, and then it
Hmm.
compounds, and even at
Exactly.
scale now at where you are, 25K a month, like you just went on vacation and you're still
Yeah.
making money, which is like
Yeah.
the beauty about this is
That's
like
the coolest part. Like I remember just checking the Amazon like seller app every day. I'm like, oh my God, like I'm doing nothing, but it's still making money. It's
yeah,
just so
yeah,
cool.
yeah. Like that's like a testament to like just like
Yeah.
I don't want to call it like passive because there's an element of like you have to work to get to
Hmm.
that point, but like
Exactly.
you could definitely like go on vacation for like a week or 2 weeks, even prolonged periods, and you will still be making money. And then all
Hmm.
it takes is just to maintain, right? Like you log in your
For sure.
Amazon account, make sure you're getting paid, make sure
Hmm.
everything like your price is good. That takes like 20 like less than 20 minutes
Yeah.
and like you're good, right? So like that's like
Exactly.
the beauty of it too with this model. Like it truly
Hmm.
is almost to the point where like in my opinion, it's the best model for like if you have a job, you're looking to start something on the side for like a family,
Exactly.
it's definitely the best. Like this is definitely the best model.
Hmm.
Um, so like even with that being said, I guess I want you to like kind of backtrack a couple months
Hmm.
back. Did you have like any doubts or yeah, like any doubts in the
Yeah, like
beginning?
when I first heard about it, like it sounded really too good to be true. And I did fall into like, I guess a scam kind of a few months back where
Oh,
there was some guy like he's like, I think it was like Forex trading or something. And he's like, yo, just put in this much money and then you'll just start doubling it. And then I kind of lost some money there. So I was like a bit skeptical because I'm like, it sounds so good to be true, right? Is this actually
yeah,
real? So I just want to talk. That's why I want to talk to you, just to get to feel like what the program's about. And then I also did like research into you, and I was like, okay, your name checks out. Like you have
yeah.
account on LinkedIn and stuff. I'm like, you seem like a legit person. And also like, I saw you went to like a high school near me too, right? So you and you
Yeah,
like you had mutuals with me too. So I'm like, you know what? Sounds like a good opportunity. So I just took the risk, and there's a lot of money too. But I'm like, you know what? If I'm like, I'm not gonna make money by doing nothing, right? So
yeah,
I was like, I took the risk. I did have doubts, but it was
yeah.
100% worth it.
Yeah. Well, at the end of everything, it's like, and I say this to like every student as well. It's
Mhm.
like, that saying's like, oh, never, like, you can't trust anyone online, or
Exactly.
there's a saying like that. And it is true in the sense where, like, even with like my parents, um,
Hmm.
they always like, they're very skeptical, especially
Exactly.
online. And,
Yeah.
and that's because there's like a lot of like scams, a lot of people who are like, oh, give me like 10 grand and I will
Mhm.
guarantee you make 3x in 90
Yeah.
days. I don't know. There's like a lot of those with like crypto, with like
Mm-hmm.
trading, and that's definitely making like the whole connotation of the internet like look bad. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, at the same time, there's also real things.
Hmm.
If that makes sense. Like there's actual like granted you have to do like due diligence, you got to do your research, look
Exactly.
into the program, do all of that.
Hmm.
But like there are like genuine, like legitimate like business opportunities out there. It's
Hmm.
just a matter of you just have to trust your gut, right? Like if
Exactly.
there's also
Hmm.
an element of after a certain point, you're just like, okay, I think this looks good. It could be
Hmm.
scary, but you just have to take that leap of faith and see what
100%.
happens, right?
Yeah.
Like I think there's definitely that. And if
Hmm.
you're just like,
always in that mindset where you're like, oh, like I can't trust anyone online. I can't do this, I
Yeah.
can't do that. Like that's definitely not the right mindset,
Hmm.
in my opinion.
Exactly. Like for me, I'm someone that's very skeptical, so I do like so much before I make decision. So for
Yeah.
me, I was like, yeah. So like I'd say like yeah, definitely like something trustworthy. Go for anyone like looking at this.
Yeah. 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 No, that's completely
Hmm.
true. And I guess to that point, when you did hear or like get the rundown of like exactly what our program offers,
Hmm.
and even like how we can help you get to, well, I guess the initial goal was 10K, right?
Yeah.
And you got to 25K, which is
Hmm.
impressive. But what were like your expectations? Like what were you expecting in
Hmm.
terms of like the mentorship and
Yeah.
even like just your day to day?
Yeah, so for me, I wasn't really sure what to expect, right?
Yeah.
Because I'd never done something like this before. So in my head, I was like, okay, I would enroll this course. They would just have videos for this, and then if we have like questions, we can ask that, and like kind of like that's how it worked. But I think the biggest benefit from this is the community, right? Like
Yeah.
everyone's asking questions, everyone's helping each other, right? We have
Mhm.
help not just from you, but from other people who are also on the same path. So they probably face stuff that like we've seen
Yeah.
before. So just that like help from like a big group like that, it really helps a lot. And then you like see stuff other people are asking and you'll be like, oh, like I never thought of that. Maybe that's something I can do. So it's something that like really helps you when there's other people on the same road as you, right? Facing the same challenges. So just like that, it
Yeah.
helps push you forward, I guess. And makes it
Yeah.
easy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Community. That's like
Mhm.
for me personally, like I didn't realize how important it was, but
Mhm.
even as you're saying this,
Mhm.
like with the program, like
Mhm.
there's a lot of like we have students getting results, like a lot of students getting results. Every
Mhm.
student's different, right? Some students
Exactly.
are 5K, 7K, 10K,
Mhm.
15K, 20K. But
Exactly.
that's good because everyone they start at zero, right? Like everyone's at
Exactly.
the beginning, and then everyone just have a different experience and they ask different questions at different
Mhm.
levels, which is good because as a beginner, I also think another thing that will help you really succeed is just being curious, right?
For
Trying
sure.
to learn and understand as much as you can, ask as many
Mhm.
questions, and when these questions are already asked or being asked, you get to like drop in and hear. And even with like the weekly
Exactly.
group calls, lots of good questions, and now you can
Mhm.
hear it and like, oh, like this person who's doing 4K or this person who's
Yeah,
doing 10K is asking these questions. Here's how
exactly.
I could apply it, right? And like you kind
Mhm.
of just like listen in,
Yeah.
and then maybe like specific questions might not be too applicable to where you are right now, but
Mhm.
over time you hear a bunch of these high level questions and you start picking it up too. You know,
Yeah,
like
exactly. Like even if you don't have a question, I feel like just joining and just listening into what other people have to say or just questions they have, it'll make you think about stuff maybe you never thought of, right? Not everything will be like that, but it gives you like an added benefit of that, which is
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
And just like the overall level of like optimism
Hmm.
in the community,
Yeah.
in the premium chat, like I that's something that I'm really proud about because like everyone's
Hmm.
like so supportive, helping
Exactly.
each other. And it's even better because there's actually no question that has been unanswered or like where like someone asked a question and then people were like, "Oh, I don't know." Like there's
Hmm.
always like an answer, which is like also
Exactly.
like something I'm pretty proud about.
Yeah. And also a good thing is like when people post like when they've made like 10K, 15K, it
Yeah.
gives you a sense of like motivation. It's like, oh, like this person's doing this, like I can do it too. And it gives you like a sense of like, I guess encouragement, like, oh, you can do it too. And like a sense, it's like a small, like friendly competitiveness where it gives you like a motivation to go forward as well.
Yeah. Community aside, what would you say is like the single biggest factor that contributed to you getting to like 25K on Amazon?
I think the main thing is just in the course, because for me, I had no idea how to actually start. So like what the process is. Like I watched so many YouTube videos on this, but I haven't actually had like a concrete plan. And just like giving me the things that I didn't know, like the things I didn't know what to search for. Right? That's the problem. Like I don't know where to start. Why like you don't know what you don't know. So once you give that outline of there's a plan here, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to follow exactly, but there's a general direction you can go in and along the way asking you those questions that we have because we've had experience it really helps like narrow it down. Okay, like this is a good decision, it's a bad decision. I should do this, I should do that. So just that aspect of that, I feel like that course was really helpful, just giving us the info in what we needed to know, basically.
Yeah.
Right? Because
Oh yeah.
you don't know what you don't know. And then yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's important. I think, well, I mean, there's also the arguments like, oh, like I could just learn this myself.
Yeah.
A
So
lot of
the thing
people
is
say that.
I thought of that too, but I'm like, you won't know. to look for these specific things. Like maybe somehow you could stumble upon it, but from my experience, I feel like it gives you something that it would be hard to find this on your own because you don't know what to actually look for in
Yeah.
those specific cases.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like you're actually what you said,
Hmm.
it's hitting spot on because like the other aspect with like online businesses is the environment changes. You know, like what
Hmm.
has worked a year ago is not working
Exactly.
now. What's working
Exactly.
now definitely won't work in 2 years.
Hmm.
So like with that, with like on YouTube, like you search how to start selling on Amazon
Yeah.
in 2025, right? That's
Yeah.
probably something that most people do on YouTube. It's like a lot of that's like outdated. And I'm speaking
Hmm.
from personal experience
Exactly.
where, okay, like this person's telling you to set up your Amazon account this certain way. And it's like
Hmm.
from a year and a half ago. And then
Hmm.
it's like completely different now, but you
Exactly.
don't know that. And by the time you do it, like you end up getting a roadblock, like hitting a
Exactly.
challenge, hitting a roadblock. And who are you asking? What, you're gonna
Yeah.
comment on a YouTube video and then
Yeah.
that person never replies? Like you're just
Hmm.
gonna be even more stumped.
Yeah.
And then now you're browsing like the Reddit threads, Google, and like you just
Hmm.
won't get an answer. And
Hmm.
then like that's just the overall challenge. So I think
Hmm.
like the other aspect is just need on top of community, you just need to be part of like a program that is up to date, but that
Yeah.
can actually just give you like, oh, like this is what you need to do. This is
Hmm.
working right now. It's like, and like if you have any questions,
Hmm.
you can ask it, right? There's an area where you can ask it and you will get like
Yeah.
an answer where you're not stumped for like a week or like 2 weeks on these
Exactly.
random things. And then now
Hmm.
multiply that, right? So like, yeah, like I do agree. Like I think no, like you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
That's like
Exactly.
that's like the main thing. And like with where you are now, where do you see yourself? Like, what are your goals for the next like 3, 4 months?
Yeah, like honestly, like it's funny because I remember when I first started, I'm like, I know you're saying like 10K we can do in 3 months. I'm like, I was like a
Mhm.
bit skeptical about that. I'm like, probably not. I'm like, let's see if I can get like $100 in sales this month, right?
Yeah.
That's like my initial goal. And I'm like, so I bought my first set of products and I sold it. And I started selling and I was like, wait, what? It just started selling. And I'm like, I didn't even expect this, right? And then within the first month, I hit like, I think 1.7K was my first month. And I was like,
Damn.
so surprised, right? And I was like, wait, this actually works. And so I was like, okay, maybe next month, let's try 2K, right? And then
Mhm.
it hit like 9K after that, right?
Damn.
So right now, I'm like way past because I was like, in 3 months, my goal is maybe 5K, right? Or 10,
Mhm.
even 10K if I hit it. Right, but
Yeah.
I'm at 25K now, which is pretty good, but I want to go more, right? So my goals are hopefully like my goal is within 1 year, I want to hit 100K. So I started in April
Yeah.
end of April last year. So my goal hopefully is by end of April to hit 100K in sales, right? I don't know if that's going to be possible, but that's going to be my aim. So like to do that, I want to start small, right? So if I'm doing 25K this month, I'm like, okay, let's see if we can do 35 or
Yeah.
40
Yeah.
next month, right? And then maybe 50, 55 the month after, just small increments. And I feel like for me, the thing I want to stick to is just consistency. At
Yeah.
least 1 hour a day, just spend researching. Even if you don't find anything, just put in that time, right?
Yeah.
So that's my goals. And then um I think like for yeah, from 1 year from now is trying to hit 100K. That's like my end goal. And then once I hit that, I think my interest is to actually expand to the US because I'm only doing it in Canada right now.
Yeah.
So once I get consistent 100Ks, I'm like, okay, we can kind of coast with the Canada one and experiment with the US,
Oh yeah.
right?
No,
And
yeah,
see how that
you
works.
could definitely get there. Like
Yeah.
very, very doable in regardless of marketplace. If you're in US or Canada, 100K
Mhm.
definitely doable,
Yeah.
which I understand like right now it might sound like a lot or
Yeah.
unfathomable, but it's like it's like you're not going from 0 to 100K overnight. That's the thing. It's like you're taking baby steps, like small steps, 0 to 5, and then 5 to
Mhm.
10, 10 to 20, 20,
Yeah.
20 to 25, 25 to 35, right? And these
Yeah.
little steps, like it helps you build that confidence. And along the way, you kind of just figure it all out. You know, like
Hmm.
you're not learning how to drive, like when you're learning how to drive, you're not going on
Yeah.
the highway instantly.
Exactly.
You're
Yeah.
taking very small steps, and it's like accumulation where over time, now you do know how to drive and you're a lot
Hmm.
more certain. You're like, oh, okay, like this is how I can approach learning how to drive on the highway.
Exactly.
And it becomes a
Yeah.
lot easier. Sorry.
No.
But I mean, even then, even before the recording, I was telling you, like,
Mhm.
the hardest, in my opinion, the hardest part on Amazon is getting set up, right? Because
Yeah.
there is a slight learning curve,
Yeah.
especially in the beginning. Like, I'm not tech savvy, and it gets very
Mhm.
confusing in the beginning.
Yeah.
But
Exactly. Like
after
even
you
how to
do,
use that website and everything is the beginning is
yeah,
very tough. Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, it's like muscle memory. Like I'm sure now, like you
Mhm.
just click a couple buttons, you
Yeah,
instantly know.
exactly.
Yeah. So that's just reps, but I think that's like the biggest learning curve. Um, Learning everything or just experiencing everything for like the first one or two times. But after
Hmm.
a certain point, like once you learn what you're looking at and how to
Hmm.
find products the right way, like it's a lot easier, right? Like
Exactly.
that by itself, just learning those two things, you don't even have to perfect it. As long as you
Hmm.
understand what's going on and just put it into effect, put it into action, you should have no problem. Like even for you, right? By
Hmm.
month two, you're at 9K. Like,
Yeah.
and that's simply by just understanding how to look at products and how to find
Hmm.
products. And then
Exactly.
getting from like 9K to 25K, I'm sure it's a very similar process, just
Exactly.
doing it more of it. And that's the
Hmm.
same thing, going from 25K to 100K, it's just doing more of it. And a lot of it's
Hmm.
just consistency. And I'm not
Exactly.
saying you have to spend 5 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours a day doing it. You don't have to
Hmm.
do that. It's just 1 hour every day. Just block it off maybe before you sleep, or maybe when
Hmm.
you first wake up, or just wake up
Exactly.
a little bit earlier. 1 hour, that's not a lot of time. Literally, like most people, they spend more than that, like browsing Instagram,
Just
browsing
on
Facebook.
TikTok, Instagram. Exactly. Just
Yeah,
wasting your
right.
time.
So as long
Yeah.
as you could just dedicate an hour, and after like 30 days, after a month, that's 30 hours, right? Like
Hmm.
you will be able to find products and like
Exactly.
getting from I'm sure getting from 25K to going from 25K to 100K for you will be a
Hmm.
lot easier than going from 0 to 25. I'll
Yeah.
guarantee you that for sure.
Hmm.
And then going from like 100K to like 200K will be even easier because
Yeah.
it all compounds. Like literally it all
Exactly.
compounds and it's just habits. And then the
Hmm.
more items you look at, like you just develop that eye, like how in the
Hmm.
beginning you're like you're not sure what you're looking at, you're not sure if this product is good, but then now I'm
Exactly.
sure when you look at an item, you're like, oh, like you kind of have an idea if
Yeah.
it's like good or
Exactly.
not, and you have a much better direction.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it just all compounds. It gets a lot
Hmm.
easier. But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm genuinely confident. Like I think the fact that you could get to even 10K, get to even 25K, which is so
Hmm.
doable, like there's no difference. Like you get to 100K.
Hmm.
Literally, you can
Yeah.
get there
Thank
for
you.
sure. It's just time and just consistency. Literally, that's it.
Exactly.
Those two things.
Hmm.
But like with that being said, do you plan on like going full time with Amazon?
Um,
Or is this something
Not at
that
the
you still want
moment.
to
The
do
thing is
yourself?
for me, because my work is I'm like a developer, so it's like all remote, right?
Yeah,
So it's I for me, like at least like in the at the current levels, I feel like I can manage both at the same time.
yeah,
So it's like I have that supplementing my income, like my main one, but
yeah,
just going full time into Amazon. Like I can
yeah.
still do it while doing my I feel like
Oh
my
yeah.
my full-time job
Yeah.
because
No,
of the role I have. Because I can work from anywhere too if I want to.
yeah.
So because of that, I feel like I don't need to like drop it because it's just additional income that I have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually ideal. Um,
Mhm.
um, do you know who Benny is?
Benny. I've seen it. I feel like I've seen his name in the Discord.
Yeah,
Mm.
he was like my first student and like the first
Oh,
success
okay.
story I had.
Yeah,
I actually went to school. I went to university with him.
got it.
And then when I started posting on Instagram, he hit me up and
Yeah.
then he got to like 20K in like 3 months.
Yeah.
Like pretty quick. He still works his job and he's like
Hmm.
scaling. I think he's at like
Yeah.
50, 60K now. He's still scaling and he
Yeah.
never quit his job. And that's
Yeah.
like that's a good thing, right? Like because everyone
Hmm.
has different goals in the sense
Exactly.
where like for me, I went full time, but it's
Hmm.
also because I hated my job. I was just like, nah,
See, that's the opposite for me. I actually enjoy what I do, so I like staying and doing
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
like if you have a different goal, like as long
Hmm.
as like if you enjoy what you do,
Hmm.
there's literally no need to quit your job. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to do that. And
Exactly.
I don't ever recommend anyone like make like 5K, make 10K and be like, oh, let me quit my
Hmm.
job and go all in. Don't
Yeah.
do that, right?
Yeah.
That's very risky.
Hmm.
But like if you enjoy what you do, you can totally manage Amazon, right? One
Hmm.
hour. That's really it.
Exactly.
It's not a lot of time. And now
Hmm.
it's just like you're making two income streams, right? You're kind of like backing it up. So instead of just relying on one income stream every month, now you have multiple. And then
Exactly.
at a certain point, after a certain, like say a year or two from now, you're
Hmm.
building up a lot of cash in your bank account because you're
Hmm.
making money on Amazon, you're saving from your job. Now you can invest that to other things, right? Like
Exactly. Like
stocks
that.
or yeah,
Exactly. That's my goal. It's like once I get this Amazon thing, like pretty much like at a good level where I can coast and it's easily making me money, I want to use that extra cash to go into like another business and like try different things. And for me, like the only thing I would find where I would quit my job is if I have at least like two or three other income streams
yeah,
where it's something I actually enjoy doing, which is fun. Like for me, like I love like problem solving, like kind of developing, like creating stuff. So that's why I like my job. But if I can find a business where I can do that myself, then I would probably quit my job and do that full time and have like two or three businesses supplementing it.
Yeah.
So that's like my end goal. We'll see what happens, but like 5 years down the road, that's where I want to be.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, like totally doable. That's the one thing I've learned is like
Mhm.
manifestation is real, right?
Yeah.
For me personally, when I first started, I was like listening to a lot of these podcasts, like
Mhm.
manifestation, where
Yeah.
like if you want to make 10K and you genuinely believe you can get there, you will get
Mhm.
there, right? It's not going to be
Mhm.
easy and it won't be overnight. There will
Mhm.
be challenges, but you will get there. But then the single biggest thing that holds anyone back is like a limiting belief, where if they
Mhm.
genuinely don't believe they can make 5K, like you won't make it
Exactly.
because you
Exactly.
just don't genuinely believe it, you know?
Mhm.
So it's like you just have to, as time goes on, you just have to start believing, set bigger goals, and genuinely believe you can hit it, uh,
Exactly.
and take actionable steps, right? Like you can't just
Mhm.
say, I want to hit 10K and then do nothing but sleep,
Yeah.
right? But if you just
Exactly.
put one foot in front of the other
Hmm.
over and over and over again, over time, like everything will figure itself out, right? And with
For sure.
Amazon, like a lot of people are making like millions, but it's
Hmm.
also a good first stepping stone, like
Exactly.
especially with this business, you're not like gambling your money, right? It's like
Hmm.
every dollar you spend, there's a set return that we look for, minimum
Hmm.
like 30, 25 to 30%. So
Yep.
like if you just multiply that, right? It's like I don't want to say guaranteed because there is a element of risk, but for
Hmm.
the most part, like it's very difficult to lose money in this
Exactly.
business. Very difficult.
Exactly.
And you're not really like guessing, you're not
Hmm.
gambling. Um, so that's like the main thing. I generally think like this model, Amazon, like
Hmm.
I'm biased, but I'd say like it's the best beginner model to just start,
Yeah.
right? You have
Exactly.
a couple $1,000 like laying
Hmm.
around, just start Amazon because you could turn
Yeah.
that couple thousand into easily like 20K, 30K, 50K, a couple hundred
For sure.
thousand, if not millions. But then that's just like just time, it's just
Exactly.
time. But the thing is like with this model, I'm sure it's like it's not flashy, right? It's not like it's kind of like a more boring model,
Yeah, but it
but
works.
it works.
Yeah.
It works, it's reliable. But
Exactly.
yeah, yeah, I mean, yeah, sorry, I was just going on a little tangent, but I guess that wraps up
Hmm.
this video. I'm very proud and very happy that you've been able to see results.
Hmm.
To be fair though, like the day you joined, I was kind of like, I do generally remember because I remember you emailing me because that was the day my
Hmm.
Instagram went down. And
Yeah. So
then,
that's I remember seeing that. I'm like, oh wait, is this like a spam account or something like that? That's what I thought initially, but then I talked to you and then I guess, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So that day my Instagram went down because I
Hmm.
changed the email. And
Hmm.
then they flagged me as getting hacked, so they deleted the
Yeah.
Instagram account. And within like, I think like that day or day after, I
Mhm.
got my Instagram back.
You got it back. Yeah,
Yeah, but
exactly.
I remember you were like we were emailing, and then I
Yeah.
remember as I read your email, I was like, yeah, if you join, like I'm pretty confident in what I teach in like the
Hmm.
modules and everything and the
Yeah.
support. Like we could definitely get you to at least like 10K. That's what I
Yeah.
was like. And now we're 25K. So like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, sky's the limit. And
Exactly.
like, I mean, I'm here. Like, if you have any questions, getting to
Hmm.
like 50K, getting to 100, like even like
Hmm.
strategy on your next steps. If at
Yeah.
any point like you feel stuck, like I'm happy.
Hmm.
I'm happy to answer. I'm happy to give you clarity. Like because
For
I've been
sure.
there. I've done that. Like I understand what's going on.
Hmm.
Um, so I can help you
Yeah.
100%. But
Perfect.
yeah, I mean,
Thank you.
that wraps up the video.
Hmm.
I think you're doing really well. I mean, keep going, stay
Hmm.
consistent,
Yep.
and yeah, we'll go from there.
Awesome. Sounds good.